of the major outcomes of this crisis is that it has made the invisible of the city very visible. There is a huge awareness now of the construct of a city, the dependencies of a community in a city, the big infrastructure, the role of a building, the meaning of a home, the relationships of a community. So this is really a pivotal point for architects to reclaim their professional value, to not just be first responders to what Rahul Mehrotra refers to as impatient capital, but to really be catalysts in the construction of relationships, the idea of the city, the behavior in a city, and how it works as a machine. Of course, our format of expression is building and city planning, and there's a huge opportunity over here to really reevaluate and create a new value system to prioritize the values of today now that are not just the aspirations have to change of a project. And this crisis has really been a dress rehearsal for the times to come. With climate change, and we really have to start thinking of the impact of climate change and designing towards it. Because, when we think of the life cycle of a building, we're talking about 50 years, 80 years. We are not going to have the resources or the temperatures that we experience today, 20 years from now. Even 5 years from now, we will see dramatic changes. So we really need to think about not just buildings, not just being sustainable in terms of doing less harm or fulfilling a criteria in terms of how they're built, but to really think about how they're going to be habitated and how that life cycle of the building over the next 100 years is going to be a regenerative kind of sustainability, not just the kind of sustainability that is just being reductive in its means, but actually being a contributor in a city. How can a building play that role? And we in our practice have really started thinking about that in terms of our construction methodologies, but also the planning and its roles. I mean, we are excited when clients come to us and start asking us for how we are planning and designing towards a different climate and a different environment and a different earth. And how can we build what we build to also reverse climate change, to also not be massive contributors to climate change. All large practices around the world, whether it's Noheta in Norway, Big, Foster's, they're all rethinking the way that their practices function. Also the way they evaluate construction, the way they evaluate sustainability. How do we evaluate what we're building and what we're designing? How do we look at buildings as they're lived in and habitated, not just in their construction phase or their built means? Architects like Renzo Piano have been doing it right from the start, but we now need to only think in these terms. We cannot think in the terms that we have been so far. Early on in our practice, when we were starting out, we were blessed with clients who had beautiful ideals for their project, but limited resources. And this really pushed us to innovate and think about how much we can do with very little. But it also thought about how we can create experiences for our clients that create the value of home beyond just being a creation of a look of a space, but really in terms of the behavioral model of a home. And now more than ever, we really have to think about what is at least the bare minimum of the meaning of the word home, not just for us, but for generations to come. How do we build buildings that can generate the idea of residence, work, and community functioning like an ecosystem? How do we look at the machine of the building contributing back to the city? Can buildings actually be satellite infrastructure pods that are connected as an interdependent network, creating a backbone spine of infrastructure for a city? They can actually contribute to each other, not just be self-sufficient. So some of the referencing that we do from non-architectural sources. We really enjoy looking at websites like Building Blog, where there's a huge infusion of broad-based information. Architecture has this beautiful quality of straddling so many spheres of anthropology, psychology, science, art, economics, politics, and the basic built act of building. So in that sense, we have a huge opportunity to infuse models and ideas and create a format of living that is really an ecosystem of all those aspects together.